Looking for some anger management tonight in Los Angeles. Maybe it's the LA traffic, maybe a Kobe thing. Whatever, tempers flared last night. Tonight, the Diamondbacks try and keep the peace and look for a series win. It's D-backs baseball on Fox Sports Arizona. Good evening from Dodger Stadium. Welcome to the broadcast. Steve Berthiaume, Bob Brenly along the way. The series finale, D-backs and the Dodgers. After a game last night, Bob, that saw the two dugouts yelling at each other.
Yeah, it got a little chippy last night. A couple Diamondbacks got thumped on the wrist in the first game of this series. The Diamondbacks hit 3 Dodgers in the game last night, one on a breaking ball and one that looked like Jock Peterson jumped in front of it. So there was some beefing back and forth from dugout to dugout. Rick Honeycutt, the pitching coach for the Dodgers, was barking at the Diamondbacks dugout, and Chip Hale had nothing to do with that. This was Cincinnati getting plunked in game one, first batter of the ball game. Puig took one of his own off the hand or wrist area. Nick Ahmed took one in the wrist. And then last night, not as much damage done. Turner takes one on the thigh. That's the one Jock Peterson really got in the way of the ball, and then a glancing blow off the back of Justin Turner's hand, and that's when the fun started between the two dugouts.
Well, it'll be up to the two starters tonight to keep it even. Robbie Ray on the mound, the left-hander for the Diamondbacks.
Yeah, Robbie Ray coming off a real good start his first time out against that potent Cubs offense. He did walk 4 batters in that game. Hopefully he'll be able to cut that number down a little bit here tonight. Only gave up 11 foul balls. What a huge improvement for Robbie Ray.
And for the Dodgers, he threw almost a no-hitter in his major league debut. Had to come out before he could finish it. It's Ross Stripling.
7 1/3 no-hit ball. He had some problems with the base on balls as well in that game. He's reportedly features a big over-the-top curveball, has a fastball, a slider, and a changeup as well.
So we're set for baseball, the D-backs and the Dodgers. The series finale from LA. Diamondbacks a chance to win the series. First pitch coming up on Fox Sports Arizona. Arizona Diamondbacks baseball on Fox Sports Arizona is brought to you by CenturyLink. Switch to CenturyLink Prism TV for an advanced TV experience. Learn more at cprismtv.com. By Jack in the Box and the Jumbo Jack, a home run for your mouth. By T-Mobile, get major league coverage. T-Mobile has doubled its 4G LTE in the last year. And by your Valley Honda dealers, where you get more standard features for less money. Sports Arizona is brought to you by Chaz Roberts Air Conditioning and Plumbing. Choose Chaz. By Lone Butte Casino. You're in for more winning moments at Lone Butte Casino. And by Cox Gigablast. How will you live the gig life? Downtown Los Angeles, we are just about set for Diamondbacks baseball. D-backs with a chance to win the series here in L.A. Robbie Ray on the mound for Arizona. Ross Stripling for Los Angeles. First pitch is next on Fox Sports Arizona. Dodger Stadium, Chavez Ravine, Steve Berthune, Bob Renly, Jody Jackson with you. 63 degrees and sunny on this Thursday evening. A rubber game at the three-game set, the Dodgers and the Diamondbacks after a chippy ball game last night. Chip Hale's D-backs, Bob, trying to win their first series at Dodger Stadium since June of 2013.
It's about time to turn things around here in downtown Los Angeles against this Dodger team. You see Chip's record in 2 years as the manager here for the Diamondbacks. Here's how he'll line them up tonight. Gene Segura at second base. Socrates Brito in center. Paul Goldschmidt at first. David Peralta back in the lineup after a start off last night. He did get a pinch hit at bat. Brandon Drury will be in left field tonight. Jake Lamb at third base. Chris Herman doing the catching. Robbie Ray on the mound batting eighth. And Nick Ahmed very comfortable in that 9 spot.
And for more on last night's theatrics, let's go downstairs to Jody.
Now, 2 nights ago, Gene Segura and Nick Ahmed were hit as well, and Chip was clear to say they have to remember that because certainly the D-backs don't forget that. But he said of tonight, we're just going to play baseball. He did say, though, it can't change the game plan. These two teams play 19 times a year, and he said there are certain hitters that we have to pitch inside to, and that won't change.
Your Arizona Ford starting pitcher for the Dodgers. It's 26-year-old right-hander Ross Stripling. His first game ever at Dodger Stadium, made his major league debut last Friday in San Francisco and threw 7 1/3 innings of no-hit ball. He did walk 4 in that ball game.
Yeah, he said he wasn't sure if he would be able to pitch at this level and get the hitters out necessary, but I guess putting a 0 in that hit column in 7 1/3 kind of indicated that he can pitch at this level.
Gene Segura leads it off.
Yeah, it's kind of funny that Dave Roberts ran into Stripling's father in the hotel lobby the next day, and the father actually thanked him for taking his son out of the ball game and not running up a pitch count just to chase a no-hitter.
Gene Segura steps in with a chance to record the 100,000th at bat in Diamondbacks history. D-backs begin tonight sitting on 99,999 at bats all time. 412 and 3 homers.
Did you count those up this afternoon?
Individually. That's why I lost my voice. 1-2.
Well, if recent history holds true, Gene Segura will probably get a base hit on that historic at bat.
Fingers crossed. 2-2 now. Mark Carlson, the plate umpire, not biting there. And there it is. 100,000 at bats. It's a Gene Segura single to lead it off in Dodger Stadium.
Center fielder number 30, Socrates.
He is about as hot as a hitter can be. Barreled that one up right off the mound on into center field for a leadoff base hit.
Brings up Socrates Brito.
You'd have to say that Gene Segura up to this point has far exceeded expectations. I don't think anybody was quite sure what you were going to get from Gene Segura given his past couple seasons when he struggled mightily, but boy, has he been just what the doctor ordered at the top of that batting lineup.
And Brito developing right before our eyes, 23 years old. Had an RBI triple in the 9th inning here Tuesday. That followed his home run off Jake Arrieta Sunday at Chase Field. Austin Barnes applies. Oh, missed the tag.
I think he's ruling that Segura went out of the baseline to avoid the tag.
Ian Wolcott, the second base umpire.
Well, your job as a runner on a ball like this, when you know you're going to get tagged out, and make enough contact with that second baseman that he cannot complete that relay throw onto first. That time Segura tried to avoid the tag going onto the infield grass. He was called out and made it an easy toss onto first for Barnes.
So 2 down for Goldie.
You see that fastball sitting in the low 90s for Stripling. Not overpowering. He's got a good fastball. He spots it well. He's very much a strike thrower. Nearly a 4-1 strikeout to walk ratio in the minor leagues.
Goldie at 242 with 3 home runs. He's knocked in 9. One and 2.
Notice the teams don't shift on Goldie because of his history of spraying the ball all over the ballpark with authority. Just about everybody plays him straight up, especially on the infield. They're playing him a little bit the opposite way in the outfield.
Two balls, 2 strikes. Goldie hitless last night, had a base on balls. And homered here in Tuesday's series opener. Corey Seager at shortstop. And scoreless top of the first. Here comes Robbie Ray at Dodger Stadium.
fielder
First
number
season as
14.
Dodgers skipper, 5-4 coming into tonight's game. Here's his lineup.
A little bit of a different look tonight. Kike Hernandez out in left field. Yasiel Puig in right. Adrian Gonzalez at first base. Howie Kendrick, third start in the series, third different position. He'll be at third base tonight. Corey Seager, the shortstop, batting after Kendrick. Trace Thompson in center field. A.J. Ellis catching. Austin Barnes at second base, and Ross Stripling the pitcher.
Kike Hernandez leads it off for L.A.
Kendrick started the first game of this series at second base. He started last night in left field and moves his way into third base tonight.
Saw the numbers on Robbie. He's your Arizona Ford starter for the D-backs. One rough patch in his season debut against the Cubs last week when he walked 4 batters in 1 inning. Other than that, he's looked much improved all spring.
Oh yeah, he looked really good pounding that strike zone, as I mentioned earlier, against that dangerous Cubs lineup. Just challenged them with fastballs down low in the zone.
And Robbie fared pretty well against the Dodgers last year. In fact, comes into tonight holding a 14-inning scoreless streak against L.A. 2-2. 4 starts versus the Dodgers last year. And in nearly 24 innings of work, Robbie had a 2.28 ERA. He beat L.A. twice last year.
The numbers were even better here at Dodger Stadium. A 1.42 ERA in his 2 starts right here at this ballpark.
But it's a full count to Hernandez, 3-2. He walks the leadoff man. Take a look at the Diamondbacks defensively. Our eye on defense brought to you by Nationwide Vision Centers.
Brandon Drury moves from right to left tonight. Socrates Brito in center. David Peralta back in the lineup in right field. Jake Lamb and Nick Ahmed once again on the left side of the infield with Gene Segura and Goldie on the right side. Chris Herman doing the catching tonight for lefty Robbie Ray.
Yasiel Puig. A .394 batting average with a home run. Back just in time, says Mike DeMuro down there.
We talked about it last night with Alex Wood pitching. How you set up that quick step-off move that Robbie Ray has a really good one. But you show it right away, chances are the base runners are going to shorten up their lead a little bit, or at least be aware of that step-off move, as opposed to Alex Wood last night, who set up that quick move with a bunch of real slow high leg kick pickoff attempts.
There's a strike to Puig, 0-1.
This is another one of those get off my lawn moments here, partner. But you see that sleeve that Yasiel Puig is wearing on his right arm. It used to be they didn't even let outfielders wear white wristbands because of the problems that the umpire had seeing the difference between the wristband and the ball on a disputed catch. No way you could have gotten away with that back in my day.
Got him, called strike 3. Robbie fires a fastball in there, belt high, and he's got his first strikeout.
First baseman, number 23, Adrian Gonzalez.
Talk about challenging a hitter. 3 fastballs all up in the zone. Last one taken for a called strike 3.
So 1 away for Gonzalez. And the shift is on for the Diamondbacks behind Robbie Ray. Gonzalez hit his first home run of the year last night. Jake Lamb, the third baseman, right behind second base umpire Quinn Wolcott.
Well, as we talked last night, Adrian Gonzalez handles lefties very well. However, he's 0 for 8 against Robbie Ray.
Nick Ahmed will take it himself and turn the double play. So a strikeout and a double play erase that leadoff walk for Robbie Ray. No score in Los Angeles.
second inning. Jake Lamb waiting his turn anxiously. Our key to the game today brought to you by Valley Honda Dealers. Win a series. Chip's been talking about it at length in the early going this season. You're not going to win every game. Just try to win a series, and with the victory tonight, the Diamondbacks can head down the freeway to San Diego with their first series victory of the year.
David Peralta leads off the second against Ross Stripling. Shift is on for LA.
There's the big curveball we've heard so much about. First inning, he just threw fastballs and a couple of straight changeups. Starts this inning with a big bender.
He's got that big 12-6 curveball that was very effective against the Giants last week. Howie Kendrick, the third baseman, in his normal spot at second base. Austin Barnes out there in short right. Stripling 7 1/3 innings of no-hit ball, but he did walk 4 in that ball game. So the command is not always sensational. No one got out over the plate. He hit it right into the shift. Barnes is there. And that's the first out in the second.
Take a look at the Dodgers defensively here tonight, brought to you by Nationwide Vision.
Left fielder number 27, Brandon Drury.
Kike Hernandez in left, Trace Thompson in center, Yasiel Puig over in right field, Howie Kendrick at third base tonight with Corey Seager and Austin Barnes making up the double play combo. Adrian Gonzalez over at first base, A.J. Ellis doing the catching for the young right-hander Ross Stripling.
Brandon Drury, 222 and an RBI. First pitch swinging right to Kendrick at third, long throw. And he's got him. Stripling has the ground ball working so far tonight.
Third baseman number 22, Jake Lamb.
Brings up Jake Lamb.
Jake had issues last night dealing with that Alex Wood curveball. Walked his first at bat in the ball game and then struck out his next 3 times up.
Jake hitting .286, 3 doubles and a home run. He's got 6 RBIs. There's a strike, 1-1. Ross Stripling, coming out of spring training this year, had never pitched above Double-A. But he won the 5th starter's job and a spot on the opening day roster with LA's rotation decimated by injuries, and nearly threw a no-hitter in his major league debut. He's ahead of ball in 2 strikes. They were very careful about the pitches. He is a Tommy John patient. Had Tommy John April of 2014 and missed almost 2 full years. Dave Roberts had a tough decision. He took Stripling out after exactly 100 pitches, and Stripling said made perfect sense to him. Didn't have any bad feelings at all. And Roberts said it wasn't exactly the 100. It wasn't the number so much. It was just that he was going to have to throw how many more to keep it going, and Roberts didn't want to go down that road with a young Tommy John patient in his major league debut. There's that big 12-6 curveball that was so effective at AT&T Park last Friday.
Probably a little bit easier to do that on the road in San Francisco than if you tried to take him out of a no-hitter here at Dodger Stadium.
It could have been fun for Dave, but he did the right thing. That's the general consensus. 2-out walk to Jake Lamb will bring up Chris Herman, the catcher, tonight.
Catcher number 10, Chris Herman.
And Chris still looking for his first base hit. He's 0 for 8 to start the year.
Diamondbacks still looking for their first RBI from the catching position. Wellington Castillo got off to a little bit of a slow start this year, has picked it up recently, but neither Diamondbacks catcher has driven in a run yet.
Yeah, Castillo 222, and Herman still hitless, 0-1. Welly getting the night off. Oh, and 2. There it is.
Boy, that's a good one. That's a down. That's the one the old timers used to call a drop ball.
Missed with that one. That curveball worked so well against the Giants, Stripling said before this ball game. Maybe now that there's a scouting report out on him, the Giants really hadn't seen that pitch before, obviously. And tonight he might go with more cutters, more changeups.
He got away with a few hanging curveballs in that game against the Giants. A couple letter high breaking balls that Giant hitter swung right through.
And A.J. Ellis completes the strikeout. First strikeout for Ross Stripling. Bottom 2 on the way. No score from Dodger Stadium.
Hit a leadoff single by Gene Segura. Hey fans, when the D-backs win, you win at Papa John's. The day after every Diamondbacks win, you get 50% off your regular menu price online order at Papa John's. Enter promo code D-backs50 at papajohns.com.
Los Angeles, California. Here we are at Dodger Stadium. Howie Kendrick leads off the LA second against Robbie Ray. Dave Roberts hinted he might turn Howie Kendrick into something of a super utility guy. We've already seen that in this series.
3 games, 3 different positions.
He's played everywhere.
Dave Roberts just wants him to bring that bat every night.
Kendrick came off the DL Tuesday, suffered a left calf strain near the end of spring training. There's a pair of singles and has scored twice in the series. Robbie behind 2-0. There's a strike. Fastball on the outer half, and Kendrick rolls it into center, a leadoff single. First hit for the Dodgers.
And Kendrick is a real handful offensively. His approach is always to hit the ball to right field, but occasionally he'll fool you and go up there and look to turn something around. This time just a little inside out swing, ground ball back up the middle of the field for a leadoff hit.
Corey Seager now, the shortstop. Off to a .297 start. He's got 4 extra base hits, all doubles. Robbie having trouble finding it right now. A walk, a strikeout, and a double play ball was his first inning. .16 pitches, 8 balls, 8 strikes. Now behind on SEAGER, 2-0.
Looks like Mark Carlson behind the plate tonight is going to make you catch the white part of the plate. He hasn't called anything really on the corners for Robbie so far. Because maybe if he starts attacking that strike zone, he'll get the borderline calls.
Goldie's got it. Here's 1, and there's 2. The 3-6-3 double play. Nobody does it better than Paul Goldschmidt.
Well, you can almost hear the gears grinding. Goldie could have easily gone back to step on the bag and then try to get the tag play at second base. He made the right decision. Throw on to Nick Ahmed, get back to the bag yourself. 3-6-3 double play.
Second double play turn tonight behind Robbie Ray. 2 down for the center fielder, Trace Thompson. Thompson a pair of singles Tuesday, 6 for 13 to start the year. You cannot get behind in the count like this.
Not all night long. They're going to make you pay eventually. He's throwing really hard. That last fastball at 95.
Two 2-0.
It just changes the kind of swing that a hitter can take. You're obviously so much more aggressive as a hitter when the count is in your favor. Even though that was just a little foul ball squirted down the first baseline, that was an aggressive swing. 2-0 by Trace Thompson. If the count's 0-2, he has to respect the edges of the strike zone a little more. He has to be ready to hit whatever Robbie Ray throws up there. More likely to take a defensive swing when he's behind in the count.
Dodgers have 3 outfielders on the DL right now. Carl Crawford, Andre Ethier, Scott Van Slyke, all injured. And so Thompson, who was acquired from the White Sox this winter, getting a chance to have an immediate impact.
Well, we talked about it before game 1 of the series. There are a lot of scouts around Major League Baseball that think this guy is an everyday player, and probably will be very, very soon.
2-2. Just inside, the count is full.
There's a lot of scouts said the same thing about Scott Van Slyke, who's one of the guys on the disabled list right now.
Alex Guerrero on the DL as well. He sees time in the outfield. This is the 3rd 3-ball count through 6 hitters for Robbie Ray. Second walk.
Catcher number 17, A.J. Ellis.
The guy that's not really much of a dangerous hitter in A.J. Ellis, but as you pointed out in game 1 of this series, he will make you work. He'll do 4, 5, 6 pitches in an at bat. He'll take his walks. This is a guy you have to come right after.
One of the game's most selective hitters at the plate. He draws walks at about twice the league average. No. Two balls, no strikes. Nick Ahmed wants a word at shortstop.
Pulling those fastballs inside to the right-handed hitters, maybe spinning off just a little bit too much to the third base side.
Is that something you might signal, Bob, from the dugout, hey, to a particular player, go have a word out there?
Yeah, you might signal it, or you know, hopefully Nick just took it upon himself. You know, he's been around long enough, and he's a defensive anchor of that infield. He's got as good a view as anybody as to what Robbie Ray's doing out there on the mound and where his pitches are going. So I like to see that, whether he was told to do it or not.
Well, he's been 2-0 on every batter in this inning, and now he's behind 3 balls and no strikes. He's already walked 2. Austin Barnes, the second baseman on deck. 3-0 pitch. That's in there.
There's a chance Ellis will make him throw another strike. He's not afraid to hit with 2 strikes.
Ellis just 3 for 17 to start the year. Ball 4. Second walk in the inning, 3rd for the ball game. He's walked back-to-back hitters with 2 outs. And here comes Mike Butcher.
Overcorrects that time and leaves it too far away from A.J. Ellis for ball 4.
And this is what we saw from Robbie in his first start at Chase Field over the weekend. He was pitching pretty well in that ball game. He had 2 strikeouts, gave up 1 single through the first 2 innings against the Cubs. And then suddenly out of nowhere to start the 3rd inning, he walked 4 of the first 5 batters he faced in that 3rd.
Now batting, second baseman, number 28, Austin Barnes.
And now he'll work with 2 on and 2 out to Austin Barnes.
Well, to use a term that Joe Madden would use, this Austin Barnes is an interesting cat. He can catch, he plays second base, he plays third base. And they're at second base tonight.
2 hits and 14 at-bats to start the year. The former ASU Sun Devil.
He can steal a base if he gets on.
Strike 1.
In his minor league career, 273 games behind the plate, 150 games at second base, and 15 times he started at third base. Could probably play corner outfield if necessary, if the Dodgers lose any more outfielders.
He was almost exclusively a catcher with their AAA team last year. And in Oklahoma City hit .315. But now this year, Dave Roberts has started taking advantage of all that previous experience around the infield. Started out at ASU as a shortstop and second baseman, moved to catcher. Was in the Marlins system, played a lot of second base and third base at AA 2 seasons ago. 1-1. Oh, they got Thompson hung up and they throw it away. This is a little bit of what we saw with the Diamondbacks defensively last night.
That's a real good inside move to second base. Just a high throw. Gene Segura was on the move to cover the bag. Couldn't come down with the high throw.
E1. The error on Robbie Ray.
7th error for the Diamondbacks already this season.
So Thompson is at third, Ellis at first, 2 outs, and a 1-1 count on Austin Barnes. There's a strike, 1-2.
I was going to say maybe mix in some of his other pitches might help him find that strike zone, but that was a slider in the dirt that time. String of fastballs after the walk to Trace Thompson, then the walk to A.J. Ellis, all fastballs. Sometimes in order to get a pitcher back in the zone, you have to make them throw some of their secondary pitches. Really make sure to finish that changeup.
2-2 is foul straight back. Five more balls than strikes in this inning. He's walked 2, 3 for the ball game. Got him. Cranked it up to 96, and Robbie Ray strands 2, keeps it scoreless in LA.
Back in history, presented by Geico. Lou Piniella, Seattle Mariners back in 01 tied the 06 Chicago Cubs with 116 regular season wins. That's kind of our salute to the Golden State Warriors, who set the NBA record with their victory last night.
And that's Klay Thompson. His brother is out there in center field for the Dodgers right now. And here we go. Robbie Ray leads off the Arizona third against Ross Stripling, no score. Well, Robbie, Bob, somehow found a way to crank it up and survive a rocky bottom 2.
Yeah, you just hope he settles in at some point. It's just going to be tough to pitch through this Dodger lineup a second time if he's spraying it around the way he did the first time.
Stripling has given up 1 hit, a walk and a strikeout. There's ball 1.
A couple of other neat this day in baseball history.
I see. I go deep into your archives over there.
Yeah. Back in 1976, a lot of people remember this one. Dave Kingman, playing for the Mets, hit a 530-foot home run that landed on a woman's porch down the street beyond Waveland Avenue in left field. I remember watching that game on television, and the lady thought somebody knocked on her door.
Right.
But that's not the longest home run hit on this date.
Wow, look at you. Robbie Ray strikes out. Second strikeout for Stripling. What was the longest?
In 1982, the Charleston Charlies playing a home game against the Toledo Mud Hens. And Toledo utility player Randy Bush hit a home run over the right field wall that's estimated to have gone 200 miles. A coal train was going past beyond the right field fence. The ball went over the wall, landed in the coal car, and the train went another 200 miles. I don't know if that's
according to StatCast.
Yeah.
200 miles, sure. I'd see David Peralta do that, the freight train.
Yeah.
That'd work out. Here's Nick Ahmed.
Those are the things you see in the minor leagues, though. Vin's probably seen something like that at some point in his illustrious career.
In the booth just to our right here.
I think there used to be a ball field in the Eastern League that actually had a train track running through the outfield. They'd had to stop the game from time to time.
And how can you have a track in the outfield?
I don't know. I was told that. Houston has a train in the ballpark. It's not on the field, but yeah, you travel around minor leagues, and I would highly recommend anybody that has some time this summer, if you're out traveling around and happen to find yourself in a city that has a minor league affiliate, go check out a ball game. You'll see things that you don't usually see at big league ballparks.
I've been to Wacona Park in Pittsfield, Massachusetts, which is right near East Longmeadow, where Nick Ahmed grew up. And they had a ballpark there in 1910 or something like that. And they built it, obviously there were no night games back then, facing the sun. So the sun at Wacona Park in Pittsfield sets in center field, and they have sun delays for about 20 minutes. Who knew that they would have baseball with lights?
Yeah.
Called strike 3. 3 straight strikeouts for Ross Stripling. He's got Herman, Ray, and Ahmed.
One thing Stripling does well, he gets the ball going on a downward plane. He really uses his height out there, straight over the top delivery, and powers that ball down to the bottom of the strike zone that time.
Gene Segura now with 2 outs, and if you're just joining us, he made some history. Led off the ball game and had a single in the 100,000th at bat in Diamondback history. Mark Carlson behind the plate. Stripling at 40 pitches, 24 strikes. Debut tonight of the Diamondbacks gray primary road uniforms. That's off the glove of Stripling. Barnes is there. Gonzalez scoops it, and they get Segura. 4 in a row set down by Ross Stripling. We'll go to the bottom of the 3rd. No score in Los Angeles. Join the D-backs for Throwback Thursdays at Chase Field, presented by Chase. Before each Thursday home game, fans can pick up a collectible poster. And on the 28th, before the Diamondbacks and Cardinals game, there will be a commemorative poster celebrating the 2001 World Series Championship. Only 4 posters left this year. Get your tickets, dbacks.com/throwback. You were involved in that. You had a small hand in things.
I think I'm in the team picture.
Ross Stripling, the pitcher, leads it off. Robbie Ray has already walked 3, including 2 in the last inning.
Thank you.
He strikes him out. 3 strikeouts for Robbie. 1 down in the 3rd.
Number 14, Kike Hernandez.
The leadoff man, Kike Hernandez. And Hernandez, second time in 3 games that Dave Roberts has put him there in the leadoff spot against a left-hander. Tuesday it was Patrick Corbin. Tonight Robbie Ray. Hernandez, a .377 career hitter against lefties. And he singled in his first 2 ABs against Patrick in the series opener. Walked his first time up.
Hernandez really has that helmet pulled down low on his brow. You see pitchers do that with their hat from time to time. Just kind of isolate the target and take out any distractions.
Focused. Reaches out and lifts it in the air toward the right field corner. Long run for Peralta, still playable. And he's got it in foul ground up against the wall. And he banged his elbow on that thing.
Number 66, Yasiel Puig.
Yeah, kind of like what the Dodgers did. They've raised that wall down the right and left field line. It used to hit outfielders right about knee level when you went over to try to make a play like that. That time David bangs up against the padded wall. You see him massaging that left elbow.
Right on the funny bone.
Well, it's so dangerous at some of the ballparks with those low walls down the right and left field line, because if you think about it, a corner outfielder is going to be running full speed after a foul ball when he gets over in that area. And to try to stop yourself against the wall when it hits you about mid-thigh, that's dangerous.
Yasiel Puig got that one in front of Brandon Drury. Puig will stop at first. A 2-out single, second hit for the Dodgers.
Number 23, ADRIAN Gonzalez.
Good changeup down out of the strike zone, but Puig hits it off the end of the bat out in front of Brandon Drury, and the Diamondbacks very wisely have hustled the ball back in quickly when Puig puts it into play. He is really busting it down that line this year.
I know it's only April 14th, but he looks like a different guy.
He really does.
Yeah. ADRIAN Gonzalez hit into a double play to end the first. Shift is on again for the Diamondbacks. Jake Lamb behind second base. Segura on the edge of the outfield grass. One. 45 pitches for Robbie, 25 strikes. There's not much wind to speak of right now, and it's a cool night here. So you're really going to have to hit it to get it out of here tonight. Right at the second base umpire, Quinn Walcott. And they get the force on Puig to end the inning. We are through 3, no score in Los Angeles.
in this ball game as we head to the top half of the 4th inning. No score. Hey fans, a D-backs home run tonight means a free jumbo jack tomorrow at participating Jack in the Box locations with the purchase of a large drink.
Rookie Ross Stripling, his second major league start, his Dodger Stadium debut. And he's got a goose egg on the board right now. Diamondbacks with just 1 hit. Stripling has retired the last 4 he's faced. He'll work to Brito, Goldie, and Peralta 2, 3, and 4 in the Arizona 4th. Socrates hit into a double play his first time up. He'll start tonight in center field.
You may have noticed A.J. Ellis before that pitch to Socrates Brito. As he was giving his sign to Stripling, he shook his head no. He just wanted Ross Stripling to shake his head no. Put a seed of doubt in Socrates Brito's mind. 2-0, normally a dead fastball count. But if you get a pitcher shaking his head out there on the mound a couple of times, it makes you think a little bit as a hitter.
2-2. You mentioned that the other day. I asked you that. Sometimes you want the guy thinking up it there a little bit.
Especially in those obvious counts. 2-0, 3-1, where as a hitter you're usually expecting a fastball, but you see the pitcher shake off once or twice out there on the mound. Okay, maybe not.
Does that work on a 23-year-old rookie, though?
Probably not.
Well, Stripling is a thinker. He's a licensed stockbroker.
Wow.
Has a job in the offseason doing some money management for a firm in Texas. Went to school at Texas A&M. He was a finance major. Took his signing bonus and invested it, and then took the Series 7 test. Passed it just before spring training. So you may want to have one of your funds. Turn it over to him. See what he can do for you.
Hand him a pocket full of change. See what he can do for me.
Dig up a coffee can in the backyard. 3-2. This is out to Hernandez in left field. And he ranges over near the line. 5 in a row set down by Stripling. And here's Goldie.
Number 44, Paul Goldschmidt.
Goldie grounded out his first time up.
A big 8th inning home run in game 1 of this series to give the Diamondbacks a lead that they would not relinquish. Did not homer yesterday. He's due.
D-backs went into a long, quiet stretch offensively last night against Alex Wood. Wood at one point retired 11 straight. And now Stripling is settled in here.
That was amazing for Alex Wood last night, too. Early on, it didn't look like he was going to be able to find the strike zone often enough. And when he did, the Diamondbacks hit him pretty hard, but he really did settle in the middle part of the ball game.
Yeah, last night Wood walked 3 in the first 3 innings. Gave up 3 hits, including Nick Ahmed's homer. And from that point on, the Diamondbacks could do nothing with Alex Wood. And Stripling ahead of Goldie 1-2. Reaches out and taps it back to the mound. 2 down.
Second time through the order, and Stripling is using all of his pitches now. That was a slider to Goldie that time. Started on the outer third of the plate. Paul Goldschmidt cues it right off the end of the bat, trying to protect with 2 strikes. And turns it into an easy 1-3 put out at first base.
Dodgers will put the shift on here for David Peralta. Grounded out his first time up. Quickly down 0-2.
Stripling must be sneaky quick out there. His fastball's in the low 90s, which is respectable, but a lot of Diamondbacks hitters have been tardy on that fastball.
Trying to dot it right there.
Straight over the top delivery, maybe a little deceiving.
He said after the near no-hitter last week that the biggest thing he takes away from that is, one, he can get big league hitters out. He knows that now. This is just his second big league start tonight. And also, he feels like he can throw 4 pitches in any count. Fastball, a 12-6 curveball, cutter, and the changeup. That's a fair ball down the left field line. Peralta shoots it the other way. And the freight train is in there. That's the 5th double this year for David Peralta.
Number 27, Brandon Drury.
Didn't have my whistle out.
You were a little late, but just fine.
Nice hitting that time by David. Let the ball get deep in the zone, knowing he's got all kinds of room on the left side of that infield.
So a chance for Brandon Drury now. Peralta at second, 2 down, still scoreless. Stripling at 60 pitches, 36 strikes. Drury grounded out his first time up. Getting the start tonight in left field. He was in right field last night. So some of the bats that are struggling for Chip Hill, we mentioned Wellington Castillo earlier, getting a night off. Yasmani Tomas, who's off to a 4 for 23 start. He's in the dugout. Drury's in left.
Unbelievably tight zone tonight for Mark Carlson. That first pitch cutter looked pretty good to Brandon Drury right there. A little hesitation by A.J. Ellis before he threw the ball back to the mound. Well, if you get an umpire that's calling a tight zone as a hitter, you go up there until you get to 2 strikes. You're looking for your dream pitch. If that's a fastball, middle in and down, you wait till you get that pitch up until 2 strikes.
Ground to Kendrick at third. Throwing around David Peralta. And Ross Stripling strands the 2-out double. Still no score at Dodger Stadium. D-backs and Dodgers. D-backs fans, if you can't watch the games on TV, you can now stream games live on your mobile device. Just go to your app store and download the free Fox Sports Go app. Log in and stream the D-backs wherever you go. After this, we get on a bus and go to San Diego. Some great pitching matchups in that series coming up at Petco Park. Howie Kendrick leads off the 4th against Robbie Ray. We got Zach Greinke and James Shields tomorrow night. Shelby Miller and Andrew Kashner Saturday. Patrick Corbin, Robbie Erlin Sunday. And then it's off to San Francisco. Off the glove of Robbie. He's got time to recover. Throws him out, one down.
We have a shot at Zach Greinke over there on the bench. We've got to take one more look at Robbie Ray. Fielding his position, knock it down, chase it down, throw him out. Well, Zach Greinke was down in the right field bullpen before the ball game today, just simulating his delivery. Didn't have a ball, didn't have a catcher. He was out there working on his wind-up, full wind-up. Just trying to get his mind right for tomorrow's start. Hopefully better results than we've seen in the first two.
Corey Seager. That's a fair ball for Goldie. Robbie Ray hustles over there, quickly 2 down. And Robbie, after scuffling through that second, is now retired 3 in a row.
Number 21, Trace Thompson.
Now, no guarantees, but you would assume that Trace Thompson's going to take at least a couple of pitches in this at bat. Otherwise, Robbie Ray is going to have a very short pitch inning, get his team back in that dugout quickly.
Thompson walked his first time up.
Nice job. Jump ahead in the count. If you think that third hitter in the inning after 2 quick outs is going to take a strike, pour that first one in there. Put him in the hole right away.
50 pitches for Robbie Ray, 30 balls, 20 strikes. Along the right field line, it'll get in the seats and out of play. And it's 0-2. A little looper. David's going to have to hurry. Segura makes a tremendous play, ranging well over from second base, and he's got it. So a 1-2-3-4 and some nice defense behind Robbie Ray. Gene Segura on the run. We run off to the 5th. Still no score at Dodger Stadium. Has thrown 16 pitches in the last 2 innings, 15 of them strikes. And fans, D-backs season ticket holders, can take advantage of a lot of perks this season. Not only do they get discounts on concessions, they have the flexibility to trade in unused tickets for any game. And don't forget, one of those games might be against the Pirates Saturday, April 23rd. The A.J. Pollock bobblehead, courtesy of Arizona Sports 98.7 FM. Get your tickets now at dbacks.com. The A.J. bobblehead has made the trip here with us.
Does he have his own room at the hotel?
Well, you know, he's a little bit of a prima donna. Not A.J., the bobblehead. He's got a suite, you know, one of those deals. He's got to have a suite and all that stuff. It's a small suite because he's a little bobblehead, but so that works out.
A few D-backs fans here amongst the Dodger blue.
Jake Lamb, who walked his first time up, leads off the 5th against Ross Stripling. Shift is on for LA. Jake Lamb gets a hold of one. Puig got a very late break on it. And he runs it down. There's no wind out there at all. It's about 60, 62 degrees top. So it's one of those cool nights in April here at Dodger Stadium. And that one just died.
Yeah, it really did. It looked like Puig thought that ball was out of here initially. He just stood in his tracks and watched the flight of the ball. And very late he broke back to the warning track to make the catch. Boy, the ball was really jumping in batting practice, however. The sun was out. It was a little bit warmer. And Puig, among others, was really putting on a show in BP, but not the same conditions right now.
Chris Herman, who struck out his first time up. That looked like it was going to sail clean over Puig's head, and he wouldn't even have to move, but it just sort of hung up there and died in the warning track. One. Miles an hour for strike 2.
Hanging change up that time. Took enough off, however, to get Herman out in front. That's definitely not the location you want to throw an 82-mile-an-hour changeup up there around the letters.
Chris gets a piece to stay alive. Acquired from the Twins last November in a trade for prospect Daniel Palkin. Tuffy Gozawish option to AAA Reno near the end of camp. Chris Herman did not have options, and Tuffy did. That's the way it works sometimes. Full count, 3-2. The pitcher Robbie Ray on deck. Batting 8th tonight. This is driven toward the gap in right center. And Chris Herman has his first base hit this year. He stops at second with a 1-out double.
Perfectly splits that gap in right center field. Just a center cut fastball that time, and Herman all over it. Nice line drive double. Setting it up for Robbie Ray here to pick up an RBI. Come on, Robbie. I think he's still going to be one. I think he and Patrick Corbin are the two most likely pitchers to go deep.
Why so?
I think Greinke's the best hitter on the pitching staff, but I think these two guys, because of their swing, they have a little bit of a loop and then a little bit of a lift at the point of contact. I think it'll be one of the left-handed pitchers that goes deep first.
It's a fastball. He pops it up.
It'd be nice if it was right now.
I was going to say, are you calling for it here?
Well, sometime this season.
All right. It's a heck of a setup if he comes through. Kershaw can hit a few. He gave one up to Madison Bumgarner earlier this year. Those two go at it again tomorrow here as the Giants come to town. Well, a home run swing from Robbie, but it's a strikeout for Stripling. That's his 4th, 2 down.
Number 13, Nick Ahmed.
Nick Ahmed's found the long ball in this series. He's really hit against the Dodgers. Nick in his last dozen games, in fact, dating back to last year, has now hit .439 versus LA, including 5 home runs. So he's turned into something of a Dodger nemesis. Herman at second, 2 outs. D-backs had David Peralta at second base in the 4th inning with 2 down. Couldn't get a run home. Pitch framing.
You tell pitchers to throw the ball. They're at the bottom of the kneecaps, over the white part of the plate.
He shoots it out to Puig. It drops in front. Here comes Chris Herman. Here's the throw. And he is in there. Diamondbacks take a 1-0 lead. Nick Ahmed does it again.
Yeah, Puig kind of handcuffed himself out there in right field on this Nick Ahmed line drive in front of him. Came in like he was going to try to make the catch, and then he has to back up just a little bit to field that ball on a hop. Long, strong throw to home plate, but Chris Herman in on his belly for the first run of the game.
It's a single. He takes second on the throw. And here's Gene Segura, 1 for 2. That's the first hit with a runner in scoring position for either team in this series. D-backs are 1 for 13. Dodgers are 0 for 17. And now Segura's up there with a chance to knock in one more.
Would have been an interesting decision for Matt Williams at third base if Puig had played that ball a little better, stayed back just a little bit so his momentum was coming in as he fielded the ball, but because he charged it first, he had to freeze in his tracks out there, fielded the ball almost behind him, and then wind up that strong arm for that throw to the plate.
Just missed him inside. 2 balls and a strike on Segura. He has singled and grounded out, 1 for 2. In the air, right center, Puig on the run. They strand Ahmed, but Nick comes up with the RBI single after the Herman double. And as we go to the bottom of the 5th, the Diamondbacks lead the Dodgers 1-0. An RBI single has made it 1-0 Diamondbacks. And Robbie Ray, who scuffled through that 26-pitch second inning, has thrown a total of 26 pitches in the other 3 innings combined. So it's very much like his first start, where he had that one rough inning. Well, we just missed A.J. Ellis. We don't need any more hit batters in this series. There's that second. He walked 2, both with 2 outs. But ever since then, has given up just 1 hit, a Puig single.
And if you have one of those high pitch innings early in the ball game, you look to balance it out with a very quick short pitch inning, which he was able to do.
One and 2. Robbie's retired the last 4 he's faced. And a quick 1, 2, 3, 4. And now has an 18-inning scoreless streak against LA. Jam shot pop-up. Peralta comes in. 5 in a row set down by Robbie.
Number 28.
It's up to 18
Austin
innings.
Barnes.
Dating back to last year.
Sneaking up on Webby.
Robbie 4 starts versus LA last season. He won twice and had a 2.28 ERA. He's pitched very well against these guys. Austin Barnes struck out his first time up, getting the start at second base tonight. Originally an ASU Sun Devil, drafted by the Marlins in the 9th round 5 years ago. And traded to the Dodgers after the 2014 season with Kike Hernandez in the deal that sent D. Gordon to Miami. He's originally from Riverside, California. Well, looks good. Ooh, dropped that one in the back door there for a strike. And it's 1 and 2. Stripling the pitcher on deck. D-backs have a lead, trying to win their first series in this ballpark since June of 2013. Just upstairs at 95, 2-2. Got the glove on the wrong hand. Fundamentals.
Well, they gave him the wrong-handed glove.
Yeah.
Well, they're trying to turn him into a lefty is probably what it is.
Fastball missed inside, and the count is full 3-2. Hard down the line, but foul. Walked him. That's the 4th walk issued tonight by Robbie Ray. And with 1 out, Barnes is at first for the pitcher Stripling.
Well, Matt Williams flashing the signs to Paul Goldschmidt, who then gives the signs to the Diamondbacks infielders as to what defensive play they're going to run. Stripling figures to be putting down a sac bunt here with 1 out and a runner at first base.
He struck out his first time up. He squares and fouls it off. Ross Stripling out of South Lake, Texas, a 5th-round pick by LA, and a Texas A&M in the draft 4 years ago. He's an Aggie.
Had that near no-hitter in his first start against the Giants. Did throw a no-hitter in college.
Gig 'em.
Yeah, part of the signs that Matt Williams was flashing out there to Goldie in this situation, in an obvious sacrifice bunt situation, that pitcher cannot freelance on pickoff attempts at first base, because Goldie is going to try to charge as hard and as quickly as he can after Robbie Ray comes set. So the pickoff throws definitely come from the bench in this situation.
Jake Lamb a couple of steps in at third. Stripling squares up again, 0-1. A ball and a strike. Do you subscribe to the theory that they're trying to give you the out here?
Yeah, take the out. I mean, obviously you'd like to get the lead runner. You'd like to turn a double play if he bunts it hard right at one of the defenders. But yeah, anytime the other team's going to give you an out, take it.
Don't make them work for it. Well, now with a 1-2 count up there. Hernandez, the leadoff man, is on deck. Word now with Chris Woodward coaching the third. Stripling does not bunt, and Robbie misses upstairs 2-2. Got him. 4 strikeouts for Robbie Ray. 2 down in the 5th.
The fielder, Kike Hernandez.
Which is the bottom of the knees right there with a good fastball. Stripling doesn't look real comfortable as a hitter. I don't know how many at-bats he had in the minor league. Some of the affiliates do use the pitcher batting if they're playing against a National League opponent.
Kike Hernandez is walked and flied out. He's 0 for 1. Can be a very tough hitter on lefties. Hernandez, a valuable guy. We talked about Howie Kendrick playing everywhere, Austin Barnes. Last year he started games all over the infield and all 3 outfield spots. Started 18 games in center field. And last year played every position other than pitcher, catcher, and first base. And he bangs that into center. Barnes will stop at second. 2 on, 2 out for Yasiel Puig. Boy, he just kills left-hand pitching.
Right fielder,
Sends that one right back where it came from. A ringing line drive just over the head of Robbie Ray out to Socrates Brito in center.
And a jam for Robbie. Puig got struck out in single. Dodgers 0 for 17 in this series with runners in scoring position. Chris Herman sets the defense. Barnes at second. Hernandez at first. Diamondback bullpen still quiet. Missed inside at 94, 1-0 on Puig. Now hitting an even 400 on the years, off to a great start. In the air, left field, Drury. And it stays in the yard. Robbie Ray strands two and keeps it a 1-0 ball game. Fan Star Wars night, Saturday, May 14th at Chase Field, and may the force be with the D-backs as they take on the Giants. Fans will get a soft-style D-back Star Wars t-shirt, courtesy of Cox Communications. Get your tickets now at dbacks.com.
There's the Death Star.
Oh, dun, 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 dun. I hate that thing.
Oh, man. You're so glad to get out of here just because of the noise that we have to put up with before the ball games and between innings.
It is brutal. Doesn't bother him, though.
Not a bit.
He's just resting his eyes.
Visualizing.
Socrates Brito 0 for 2. Brito has hit into a double play and flied out. He's got a base hit. Shoots it the other way over the head of Kendrick. And Socrates, a leadoff single in the 6th.
First baseman Paul Goldschmidt.
One instance where drawing in Kendrick at third base to protect against a possible bunt hurt the Dodgers. The ball just carved out there. It landed on the infield dirt behind the third baseman. Shortstop Corey Seager couldn't get there quickly enough.
Well, here's Goldie. A rare hitless night for Goldie last night in this ballpark. He's 0 for 2 so far tonight. He normally tears this place up. Brito holding in first, and there's strike one. Goldie for his career, .351 at Dodger Stadium. He's played 38 games here, has 33 RBIs, including 14 home runs. Home here Tuesday. Brito takes off. Here's the throw from Ellis. It's not in time, and Socrates is in there with his first stolen base. Got a great jump.
He took off running while Stripling was still standing on the mound. What a jump. I'm surprised A.J. Ellis even risked a throw to second base after the jump Brito had at first.
So the leadoff man in the inning in scoring position now, and a 1-1 count on Paul Goldschmidt. D-backs have out hit the Dodgers 5-3. They lead it 1-0. Play on at second. Dodger bullpen will get busy. The lefty J.P. Howell. Chris Woodward, who gave up the Goldie homer the other day. I should say Chris Hatcher, pardon me. Just had a kid. Yeah, had a little one. Gave up the Goldie homer on that 3-0 pitch Tuesday. And is now a dad. So he's not here tonight.
Yeah, he and his wife Jenny welcomed Jensen Thomas Hatcher into the world.
2-1. I've noticed how last names have started to become first names.
A scary thought. I know there's at least 2 little girls in this world that have a first name of Brendan.
How did that happen exactly?
Giants fan, a gentleman that worked for the flagship station in San Francisco at KNBR. He and his wife had a baby. They just thought it had a nice ring to it. The other one I'm not so sure about.
2-2. Roll to shortstop. Seager has it. Brito is in at third, and that's the first out. So Goldie moves the runner along.
Not a pretty swing, but a productive out, moving Brito on to third base with 1 out in the inning, setting it up for David Peralta and Brandon Drury.
And Peralta doubled his last time up. Dodgers had the shift on, and David just slapped it the other way down the left field line. This is what it looked like with 2 outs in the 4th.
Boy, that's nice. Just short and quick into the hitting zone, right down that third base line, beating the shift.
They're trying to slow this thing down now. They've had J.P. Howell warming up down there, the lefty. Peralta's up. One out, Brito at third. And they will overload the right-hand side of the LA infield. Well, now they're going to bring Seager back. He doesn't know where to go. Keeps looking with his hands raised up into the LA dugout. Where do you want me? Swing and a miss, 0-1.
I know David Peralta doesn't want him where he is. Could be a little bit distracting behind the right-handed pitcher out there on the mound. Seager has now moved over a few steps to his right. On that first delivery, he was almost behind the release point.
Stripling at 90 pitches, 53 strikes. He's just wandering around out there. Kendrick even with a bag at third. 1-2 now. Seager well in on the grass. Barnes at second base, just about a step shy of it. Two and two. Brandon Drury 0 for 2. He would be next. Barnes at second. They'll let the run score. Brito's in there. The RBI for Peralta. It's 2-0 D-backs. He thought about it, but decided to get the sure out and conceded the run.
Good jump at first base when he stole second, and a good jump off of third on this little broken bat roller to the right side. Barnes had thoughts about going home. You could see the pitcher Stripling lay down on his stomach out there on the mound just in case he did throw home, but Brito much too fast, scores the second run of the ball game for the D-backs.
2-0 Diamondbacks. 2 outs now for Brandon Drury. He has twice grounded out to third. Robbie Ray in line for the win here. He's only had 74 pitches, so he's got a ways to go if he can stay efficient out there. Stripling came out of the ball game last Friday at 100 pitches. He's at 95 right now. That's in there for a strike. He strikes out Drew. But the Diamondbacks get one more. They lead it 2-0.
We head to the bottom half of the 6th inning. It's time now to take a look at our Jimmy John's high-speed delivery of the ball game. A couple of early double plays behind Robbie Ray really helped him out in this ball game. Struggling in the early going to find that strike zone and incorporate his secondary pitches, but those 2 double plays really helped. And nice running catch by Gene Segura on a little floater over there toward foul territory behind first base.
So the defense, which was an issue for the Diamondbacks last night, has been there again tonight. Outstanding behind Robbie, who's got a 2-0 lead. And starts the 6th at 74 pitches. ADRIAN Gonzalez shows bunt and then gets all twisted up there. What happened there?
I think he was trying to show bunt and draw in the third baseman, or rather that's Nick Ahmed playing on the left side of the infield, and then slap it by him, but Robbie spoiled that plan with a big slow breaking ball. Another one.
If I'm Dave Roberts, I don't want ADRIAN Gonzalez up there trying to get cute.
Well, he's just thinking about getting on base and setting up the inning here, but back-to-back curveballs have made him look as bad as you'll ever see ADRIAN Gonzalez look at the plate.
He's put himself in an 0-2 hole. Wow, that is as bad and as bad as ADRIAN Gonzalez may ever turn in the big leagues.
3 breaking balls in a row. He wasn't close to any of them.
Good. 5 strikeouts for Robbie. I don't think I've ever seen him give away an at-bat like he just did.
No.
That was remarkable. Howie Kendrick 1 for 2. Dodgers still have only 3 hits against Robbie Ray. The fastball has been consistently mid-90s. Out to right field, Peralta makes a diving grab. More great D-back defense, 2 down. So Chaz Roberts, air conditioning, cool, play the game.
That ball was struck well. David got a nice jump on it, makes the catch, and goes into a slide out there to protect himself. Nicely done. A little worried that one might get hung up in the lights. You always worry about those humpback liners that don't get up above the lights. David able to stay with that one and make the play.
Corey Seager. Boy, he's got these guys all twisted up in knots.
Yeah, feeling that breaking ball a little bit this inning. The best slider we've seen from Robbie Ray in this game here in this inning.
And then dots the fastball down and away at 95, and it's 0-2. Robbie Ray now 20 consecutive scoreless innings against the Dodgers. He is through 6 in LA with a 2-0 lead.
Socrates Brito scoring that second run, and it was all about small ball as Brito gets it done getting on base here. But then watch this, a great jump to steal second base. Dave McKay's been working with these guys very hard on that. Then Paul Goldschmidt with the ground ball to short moves Brito to third, and then Peralta gets Brito coming home to score, and that put the D-backs ahead by 2 runs. Our Cox high-speed highlights, and here in the dugout, it was high fives all around, saying, a lot of the coaches saying that's the way we play the game. And I talked to Dave McKay before today's game, and he said he's getting a lot of guys to really learn all the nuances of the pitcher. He even has them watch video and have the stopwatch in their hand. He talked about specifically Gene Segura, who's new to the team, and even Socrates Brito, who is relatively new to the team. And Dave McKay just moments ago here in the dugout said that's what we were talking about right there.
Thank you, Jody. New pitcher for the Dodgers, the lefty J.P. Howell. As Jake Lamb leads off the 7th, 2-0 D-backs. Jake has walked and flying out. He's 0 for 1. The numbers on J.P. Howell, his 4th appearance of the year. And it's been a rocky start. Wow, he reaches out and somehow snares that one and throws out Lamb.
Catcher, Chris Herman.
Now working away to Jake Lamb. Anytime you work a hitter away, you have to expect the ball might come back your direction, and that time Howe, with quick reactions, able to reach out and keep that one out of center field.
Here's Chris Herman, the catcher. Doubled and scored in the 5th. Chris's first base hit this year, getting the start behind the plate tonight. Robbie Ray working on a 3-hit shutout is in the on-deck circle, batting 8th tonight. One and two.
Open zone up that time. Big sweeping breaking ball. Looked like it ended up a few inches off that outside corner.
Mark Carlson back there. Full count, 3-2.
Well, just breaking ball after breaking ball this at bat here for Chris Herman. Oh, Robbie Ray wearing an ankle guard on that front leg.
Whatever works.
Looks like a hitter.
Trying to fool him. Well, you have predicted he will hit a home run, so. Herman strikes out.
Pitcher Robbie Ray.
So all those breaking balls in a row. Fastball in the mid to upper 80s. Elevated up there above the letters. Too good to take for Chris Herman.
Well, Robbie's been up twice tonight. He struck out both times. There's that front ankle guard. Adrian Gonzalez like swing that time.
Well, Robbie will tell his teammates they brought Howell in the game to pitch to him. Lefty on lefty.
It's all about the matchups. 0-2. Will complete the strikeout here. So we stretch in LA. Robbie Ray working on a 3-hit shutout. He's got a 2-0 lead at Dodger Stadium.
And no runs up to this point. Diamondbacks lead it 2-0. Hey fans, follow the Diamondbacks baseball live with the MLB.com at-bat app. Stay up to the moment at any moment with game day, live game video highlights, StatCast, news, and more. Download MLB.com at-bat, the #1 app for live baseball on your phone and tablet.
Robbie Ray starts this bottom of the 7th inning at Dodger Stadium with a consecutive scoreless inning streak versus Los Angeles that is right now at 20. He has worked 6 scoreless innings, given up just 3 hits, walked 4 and struck out 6. And Trace Thompson leads off the LA 7th. Diamondback bullpen will get busy. Thompson has walked and popped up 0 for 1. Probably back-to-back 2-out walks in that 2nd inning. And ever since then, it has been outstanding. But Trace Thompson has a leadoff single. Just the 4th hit for LA.
Tried to come inside with a fastball that time. Caught a little bit too much plate. Thompson with a good quick swing finds that hole on the left side of the infield.
He's got good speed down there. A.J. Ellis, the catcher, steps up now. Ellis walked and flied out. 3 for 18 to start the year. D-backs have 2 pitchers warming up down in their bullpen. Yimi Garcia throwing for LA. Chafin the lefty, Delgado the righty. 2-0 pitch. Swing and a miss. Leadoff single by Thompson. Now he's fallen behind Ellis, 3-1. Austin Barnes, the second baseman, is on deck. Pitcher spot after that. Fly ball, Brito, center field. And Thompson will hold it first. He's hit out to the warning track out there in right center. But it's allowed out #1.
Well, nice job there by David Peralta as well to come over from right field. I'm sure he was yelling that the runner at first base was tagging up. A deep fly ball to the right of straightaway center field. And with that warning, Socrates Brito got behind the ball and fired a strike into second base.
Austin Barnes has struck out and walked. Pitcher spot is up next. Justin Turner in the on-deck circle. I'll be having trouble throwing strikes again. Garcia still throwing for the Dodgers. for Howell. 2-0 pitch. Bring it on. Delgado and Chafin still warming up for the Diamondbacks. Boston. 5 walks for Robbie Ray. Chip Hale on the top step. And now Turner is announced. And he will go get his right-hander. So we'll bring in Delgado here to face Turner. And boy, Robbie Ray tonight pitched a beauty for the most part.
Yeah, for the most part. I guess you could say he was effectively wild tonight. Had issues with the base on balls, but was able to pitch out of any jams that he got himself into.
Delgado coming in. D-backs lead 2-0 back after this. A 2-0 lead, responsible for a pair of Dodger base runners. Gila River game summary starter comparison. The only number you don't like there on the top for Robbie, the 5 bases on balls. 1 in this inning, which has put 2 on with 1 out. The Arizona Federal Credit Union pitching change. Here's Randall Delgado, who last night worked the 6th inning and threw 20 pitches. Justin Turner will hit for the pitcher.
You look back to last season for Robbie Ray, in his 23 starts, he only pitched into the 7th inning 4 times. So already once into the 7th inning after 2 starts this season.
Turner in there at 242. Thompson at second, Barnes at first. 1 out. Ball 1. And to Justin Turner last night, it was twice hit by pitches. Once it appeared on the wrist or hand. Gene Segura will come in now and have a word with Randall Delgado. Foul ball. Been a while. Dodgers still did not have a base hit with a runner in scoring position in this series. Hasn't happened in almost 10 years. Base hit. They will wave Thompson in from second. The throw from Drury is not in time, and Rogers are on the board. RBI single for Turner makes it a 2-1 ball game. And that's the first time the Dodgers have scored a run charged to Robbie Ray in 20 innings.
Fastball down over the heart of the plate. I still think Justin Turner is highly susceptible to slow off-speed pitches. That big wind-up with the front leg, striding into the pitch as it gets up there. He is geared for fastball.
And now the order turns around. The leadoff man, Kike Hernandez. Here comes Mike Butcher to the mound. Along with the rest of the Diamondback infield. Kike Hernandez has walked and singled. He is 1 for 2 tonight.
This is another guy that's a dead red fastball hitter, especially middle of the plate in. Looking for that ground ball.
Barnes is at second. He's the tying run. Turner at first, the go-ahead run. Ball 1. Juno. Puig on deck, Gonzalez behind him. Base hit. That's down in the gap. It'll roll the wall. Barnes scores. Turner will score. And the Dodgers take the lead. A 2-run double by Kike Hernandez.
Randall pitches himself into a predictable fastball count against, as I mentioned, a good fastball hitter, and Hernandez drills that one to the gap in left center field. A little bit of confusion out there initially. Drury ends up picking the ball up. By the time they get it back into Nick Ahmed, it's too late to throw home.
And now you've got Puig coming up. Randall Delgado exits. Dodgers lead at 3-2 back from LA after this. Brewers a 3-2 lead. As LA has gotten 3 in the 7th, and the new pitcher for the Diamondbacks, it's the left-hander Andrew Chafin, who threw 5 pitches in last night's ball game.
Chip and Mike Butcher must have seen something they really didn't like from Randall Delgado tonight. Otherwise, he probably would have stayed in the ball game to face Yasiel Puig before giving way to Chafin for Adrian Gonzalez. But they don't even wait that long. They bring in Andrew to face Yasiel Puig.
Tyler Clippard pitched Tuesday and Wednesday. Tyler threw 12 pitches Tuesday, 12 last night. So Chip apparently not wanting to go to Clippard 3 days in a row. So that's the reason perhaps why we didn't see him in the 7th inning. Delgado and now Chafin in relief of Robbie Ray, and here's Yasiel Puig. Puig singled in the 3rd. He's 1 for 3.
Showcase swing that time from Yasiel Puig. Had made up his mind he was going to attack that first delivery from Andrew Chafin. Got a middle of the plate fastball and swung right through it.
Hit it again. D-backs in the 8th inning left Nick Ahmed, Gene Segura, and Socrates Brito do up 9-1-2. Yimi Garcia's been warming up for a while in the LA bullpen. He's about ready and is set to come in, so he'll work the 8th. Foul ball. Hernandez at second, 1-2 on Puig.
It might be tough for Brandon Drury to throw out Hernandez at home plate if Puig should happen to hit a ball into left field. Brito at normal depth in center, same for Peralta in right, but Brandon Drury, as we've seen him play outfield lately, playing very deep.
It's under the glove of Goldie. They will wave in Hernandez. The throw from Peralta is offline. And it's 4-2 Dodgers.
Like a bad pitch down low and away from Puig. Just shoots it past Goldie, the only defender on that right side. That's a ball that probably should have been cut right there. Ball was hit on the ground. Hernandez had a big jump out there at second base. It took David a while to get to that ball in right field. Puig was right in front of Paul Goldschmidt trying to go first to second, and Goldie let the ball go through to home plate.
So down 2-0. It's turned into a 4-run LA 7th. And the batter is Adrian Gonzalez. with Puig at second and still just one out. That one rolls in the right. Roller Puig. The throw is cut off, and it's 5-2. 4 straight RBI hits for the Dodgers.
Looking horrible on the Robbie Ray breaking ball in his last at bat. He's all over Andrew Chafin's slider. Little ground ball through the right side. Puig will score easily from second base. Need somebody to break up the rhythm right here. Somebody needs to make a trip to the mound, tie your shoe, fake like you have something in your eye.
Howie Kendrick. He singled in the second. He's 1 for 3. Segura off the fist. Ahmed for 1, and they turn 2. But the Dodgers, who started the inning down 2-0, get 5, and they lead it 5-2.
Until that bottom half of the 7th, they put a 5 on the board to take a 3-run lead over the Diamondbacks. Hey fans, anytime the D-backs score 5 runs or more, Taco Bell is giving away 3 free tacos with the purchase of a large drink between 4 and 6 the following day at participating locations.
Well, the Dodgers have been 0 for 18 in this series with runners in scoring position, but they just went 4 for 4 to drive in 5 defensive changes for LA. Howie Kendrick moves over from third to second, replacing Austin Barnes. Justin Turner takes over at third base, and the new pitcher is the right-hander, Yimi Garcia. And he'll work to Nick Ahmed, Gene Segura, and Socrates Brito, 9-1-2 in the Arizona 8th.
Got to go. Dodger bullpen has been very familiar with giving it up in the early going this season. See if the D-backs can break through against right-hander Yimi Garcia.
And Ahmed has been a Dodger killer, an RBI single his last time up. He's had a great series.
Nick's probably hoping to see that pitch again in this at bat. That was a slider that didn't take much of a break at all. Stayed right over that inside part of the plate.
Nick hits it hard, but right to Kike Hernandez and left, one away.
He did get that same pitch. Either a flat slider or cutter possibly. He stayed right there for Nick, hit it right on the button.
Second baseman number 2, Gene Segura.
One down for Segura. A single to lead off the ball game. Gene 1 for 3 tonight. Justin Turner creeping in a bit from third base. Well, they have consistently come inside on Segura, and this goes back to what we saw last night when 3 Dodger batters were hit. And Chip Hale was exchanging words with the LA dugout after the Dodgers started barking. Right out over the plate, but he rolls it to Kendrick. 2 down.
Garcia has thrown some real hittable pitches already in this inning, but has 2 quick outs to show for it. The line drive to left off of Nick Ahmed's bat, and then a jam shot grounder to second base.
Socrates Brito now. Brito singled, stole a base, and scored a run in the 6th. He's 1 for 3. There's a strike, 1-1.
Trying to go up the ladder on Socrates Brito. Last 2 fastballs up letter high. He's fouled them both off to the third base side of the field. Another one up there.
Brito battling.
Well, you see A.J. Ellis rise up just a little bit out of his crouch, give that target up high. And you can be 99.9% sure it's going to be a fastball. No catcher calls for a high breaking ball or a high changeup.
One-two pitch. Pesky.
Good battle here. Straight change up that time. Gets a piece of it to keep the at bat going.
Base hit for Brito. He knocks it into center. A 2-out single.
Well, he earned that one.
Sure did. He's 2 for 4.
First baseman number 44.
So a chance for Goldie, who's 0 for 3. After he was hitless last night. Hitting .222 on the year. First pitch swinging.
Throw one of those flat sliders up there in the middle of the plate to Goldie.
Making a one-run game in a big hurry.
Yeah, Stripling was throwing that cutter or little baby slider almost exclusively to Goldie. I don't remember one that he threw to another right-handed hitter.
Fastball in there, 0-2.
I'm looking for something else right there.
Just inside with it. Left-hand hitting David Peralta on deck. He would be next. Dodgers have a lefty up in their bullpen. It's Adam Liberatore. Called strike 3. Garcia rings him up. Bottom 8 coming up. Diamondbacks trail at 5-2.
Diamondbacks, the Dodgers 5 runs on 8 hits, no errors. Hey fans, next up at Chase Field are the Pittsburgh Pirates. The Buccos roll in April 22nd to 24th. On Saturday, April 23rd, fans can pick up the A.J. Pollock bobblehead, courtesy of Arizona Sports 98.7 FM. Get your tickets now at dbacks.com.
The A.J. bobblehead made the trip with us. Double switch for Chip Hale as Chris Owings takes over in center field for Socrates Brito. CO bat 8th. Pitcher spot now 2nd in the Diamondback order. And the new pitcher for Arizona, the right-hander Matt Bushman, who made his major league debut Sunday at Chase Field against the Cubs after 10 years in the minor leagues, the 32-year-old rookie. He's up against a 21-year-old rookie, Corey Seager. First pitch swing, grounds it to Segura, quickly 1 down. So Seager goes 0 for 4. Matt Bushman, one of the great stories in baseball this year. A 15th round pick out of Vanderbilt by the Padres 10 years ago, signed with the Diamondbacks in December. And after 10 years and more than 1,300 minor league innings, he is now in the big leagues. Trace Thompson has walked, singled, and scored a run. Big Kenley Jansen, who last night got his first career 5-out save, is warming up in the LA bullpen. Jansen last night Needed only 18 pitches to get those 5 outs. 0-2. Fly ball right field. David Peralta backs up near the track. 2 down. Peralta will lead off the Diamondback 9th inning. After that, Brandon Drury and Jake Lamb do up 4, 5, and 6. It looks like against Kenley Jansen. 2 down for A.J. Ellis. Ellis tonight 0 for 2 and 3 for 19 to start the year. He's at 158. There's a strike, 0-1.
Probably not very far away from A.J. Ellis becoming somebody in this rotation's personal catcher, because Yasmani Grandal just off the disabled list. I'm sure they'd like to ease him back into the action. But as soon as he's ready to go every day, Yasmani Grandal will be the guy behind the plate.
Ellis and Kershaw have developed quite a relationship. They're a big duo here for the Dodgers. Dave Roberts got a lot of questions about that in spring training, the old personal catcher thing that managers seem to hate so much.
You just hate to admit it.
Nothing to see here. Matt Bushman almost had the strikeout there. Ellis just gets a piece to stay alive.
Just got a piece of it. Boy, Bushman doesn't throw anything straight. Has a good sinker in the low 90s, a good changeup with downward movement. Hard slider that breaks very late.
Two and 2. Nick Ahmed in front of Jake Lamb over there in the hole. And Bushman has a 1-2-3 8th inning. What's next? Brought to you by CenturyLink. David Peralta leads off the Diamondback 9th. Backs trail at 5-2. After this, we are on a bus headed to San Diego. Start of a 3-game series with the Padres at Petco Park. So we order Let's Go places, and we will go to San Diego. Greinke, Miller, and Corbin in that series over the weekend.
Some good matchups there. Big game, James Shields in game 1 for the Padres. Andrew Cashner game 2. Soft toss and Robbie Erlin in game 3.
New pitcher here for LA. He had a 5-out save last night, the first of his career, and needed only 18 pitches to do it. It's the big right-hander, Kenley Jansen. Peralta, Drury, Lamb, 4, 5, and 6, 2 up. Dodgers will put the shift on for David here, who doubled in the 4th and had an RBI ground out in the 6th. They leave Turner all by himself over there on the left-hand side. There's a ball.
If you weren't with us last night, Kenley Jansen features that cut fastball in the low to mid-90s. He did throw one breaking ball in the game last night, but usually throws all cutters. This exaggerated pull shift. Howie Kendrick way out in shallow right field. Seager up the middle of the field in deep with his heels on the outfield grass, and Gonzalez will back up almost to the outfield grass. See a lot of lefties try to bunt against the shift, and they almost always try to bunt the ball to the third base side. If you get it by the pitcher to the right side, it'd be a base hit as well because everybody's playing so deep.
Oh. A lot of room on that left side.
Just get it by Jansen.
Looking for base runners here. 3-1.
Got one up that time.
A slow roller. Kendrick charges in from right field and just does get Peralta.
David made it close, hustling down that line. Kendrick had to come charging in from right in front of Yasiel Puig and just does get it over to Gonzalez in time for the out.
Brandon Drury now 0 for 3.
Breaking ball from Kenley Jansen at 81. Serves the purpose of a changeup.
Got him. D-backs down to their final out.
Quick pitch that time from Kenley Jansen. Very abbreviated setup and delivery to home plate. We're seeing more and more pitchers do that. LaTroy Hawkins was really the first guy that I saw do it on a consistent basis, and now more and more pitchers have started to do that very abbreviated setup, whether it's out of the stretch or the windup.
Shift is on for Lamb, who walked in the second. He's 0 for 2. over the mound. Seager, the shortstop. And the Dodgers take the ball game and the series. Well, the D-backs dropped to 3-7 on the year. They had a 2-0 lead heading into the 7th inning, but LA got 5. And they take the series 2-1, 5-2 the final here.
Inconsistent start for Robbie Ray, but all told, not a bad start. Bullpen gave up a couple runs. The first runs Robbie had given up against the Dodgers in a long time. Randall Delgado really struggled against the 2 hitters that he faced, and Andrew Chafin gave up a couple of knocks out of the pen. Very uncharacteristic of the Diamondbacks relievers.
Yeah, 4 straight RBI base hits by the Dodgers, 2 against Delgado, 2 against Chafin. And LA comes back with a 5-run inning and wins it 5-2. Diamondback Live postgame show is coming up on Fox Sports Arizona. And D-backs lead LA with only 1 win and will head to San Diego. Chip Hale from his dugout. Office coming up next. Diamondback Live presented by CenturyLink right after this.